Someday we'll get paid for this.
Hello, friends. You know I'm AP Ticker, and you know it's time for a life lesson. Junkie etiquette. This week, we observe the 40th anniversary of one of the most expensive and destructive social policy experiments in American history, the war on drugs. This can be a delicate subject, but I feel we know each other well enough that we can talk frankly about heroin, meth, and crack cocaine. We've all lost friends and family to misfortunes involving hard drugs. It's time to take a clear, hard look at our policies and attitudes toward this subject. I feel that all drugs should be legal. All drugs should be legal and available to the public. Legalize all drugs, and I bet crime and bloodshed would drop. Now, concerning heroin, meth, and crack cocaine, certain rules and standards should apply before you can have access. Just kind of off the top of my head, the minimum age should be 35 years old before you can use the big three. You have to be old enough to run for president to use that shit. Besides, by the time you're 35, the weight of the world should have ground your dreams to dust, and your family should have no illusions of who you are. You also should have no relationships, unless your significant other is a junkie as well. Also, no kids, unless they're over 20 years old and can take care of themselves. Creative employment is also a must, which leads to the biggest and most important rule of all before you're allowed to have access to be able to use heroin, meth, and crack cocaine. You need an income of at least $2 million a year. Let's leave these drugs to the Keith Richards and Bernie Madoffs of the world. People who have enough cash to throw money at any problem they're going to have using this shit. We need to legalize and raise the price of these drugs so it's out of the price range of hardworking Americans and their families. All our billions in law enforcement money spent can be used to make sure that the hard stuff is only sold at high-end golf courses and posh jewelry counters. I realize that I'm painting with some pretty broad strokes here, and what I'm saying is perhaps too simplistic for such a mega problem. But could we possibly handle this any worse than we already are? In the last 40 years, the U.S. has spent $2.5 trillion, with a TR, trillion dollars on the war on drugs. And what do we have to show for it? Nothing. Zippo. Nil. Nada. Every year, 8,000 to 14,000 people die from illegal drugs in this country. The Bureau of Justice states that more than 500,000 of the 2.3 million prisoners in the United States are in for drug offenses. 1 out of 3 are young African Americans. Imagine what we as a nation could do with an extra 2.5 trillion with a TR, trillion dollars, and 500,000 free people. Are you thinking about it? Good. Till next time, folks, I'm AP Ticker, and if one or more friend or relative is robbed by a close family member so they can feed their habit, or if I have to go to another young person's funeral because of all this shit, I swear to God I am going to fucking scream.